Today we're going to continue in Brachos. We finished on Brachos to Hashem. Everything is Brachos to Hashem. Like Yehuda mentioned, the first time somebody put it into his words, Bracha to Hashem is Boaz. We're going to see we're in the days of Shavuos. We'll see by Boaz. He said Baruch Hashem. So today everybody says Baruch Hashem in their everyday language. Yesterday somebody mentioned that there's some pshatim that some rabbanim will hold that a coffee, if you keep on sipping it, or different, there's different pshatim, if you should say another bracha or not. Rabbi Wiener, that I set a psak from, holds that if there's a shini makam on a shahakal, you do make another bracha. So it comes out that if you change your place while you're drinking your coffee, you could make many brachas on the same coffee, as long as you're changing your place. I verified it with him, and he said yes. As long as you change your place, if you're in a room, then you go into your car, another bracha, you go into work, another bracha, you go back in your car, another bracha. So as long as you change your place, when it's a shahakal, you're going to make another bracha. Ksiv, and it's written. Today we're going to talk about giving brachas to other people. Toiv ayin hu yivarech. A person with a good eye, he should bless. Meaning somebody who has a good eye. This is Shuir number 97, page 213 in the Art Scroll. Toiv ayin hu yivarech. Somebody who has a good eye. Al tikri yivarech ela yivarech. Don't say that. Don't read it. Should bless. Rather, he will be blessed. Meaning, somebody who gives other people brachas, he will be blessed. Ki mi shehu toiv la'olam yivarech. Somebody wants to do good for the world, he gives blessings. V'amevarech es Yisrael hu gam kein mizbarach. Somebody who gives a bracha to another yid, he will be gebenched. K'dechsiv, like it says by Avram Avinu, Hashem said, "Va'avarecha mivarechecha." If you bench, you will get benched. Now, we understand that this is a pashut idea, that you bench other yidden. Now, I'm just going to try to give an example so you understand it a little bit. To Yehuda, Yehuda's a person with everything's positive. He has be positive blood type. But there's a lot of people who are negative. They have more of a negative, outlook, including myself. I see something sometimes you can be very negative. For example, somebody gives you somebody comes over to you and says, "Give me advice on a business idea," and he says, "Maybe I want to get into Amazon." And you tell him, "Amazon, terrible idea right now. People are not doing well in Amazon." But the guy, anyways, opens up an Amazon business, and you see he's struggling. He's not doing well. So you go over to him and you say, and you're thinking in your mind, Shaita, I told him it's not a good business. Instead of saying to him that, you give him a bracha. You say, you should be gebenched, you should do well in your business, because Hashem is the one who gives the bracha. It's not us. So even though so in a time where we could possibly be negative on somebody, instead we could try to give the person a bracha, and we could be gebenched in the same thing. We will also be gebenched. Kol kevel dona mekal Yisrael. Now he says about somebody who curses another yid. Nafshehu chavel. He's hurting his own nefesh. It's like somebody who would go ahead and he would hurt his own hand. He would say, I would love to chop off my own arm. It's the same thing. When you say about another yid, you curse another yid, you're saying about your own self. Because when another yid in Klal Yisrael is hurting, it's like you're hurting as well. A person has the power. When you have a power to bench somebody, you don't do it. A person should do everything he can just to bench another yid. Like we said, Rabbi Victor Miller, we used to pass a yid's house, he would bench the house. Even if the person doesn't know that you're giving him a bracha, you bench it anyways. It'll come out something Paris. If somebody says a bracha to you, you're supposed to say v'chein lamar, and it should be to you the same. There was a story in Shas that we had. The Rav came to Rav Huna. The Rav barchel Rav Huna. There was a story that Rav was by Rav Huna, and Rav Huna was wearing a belt made out of grass. And Rav said to him, "Why are you wearing a belt made out of grass?" He said, "I had to make kiddush, and I didn't have wine to make kiddush. So instead, I gave my belt as a mashkim in order to get grape wine for kiddush hayom." And Rav gave him a bracha, and he said, you should be mevarech, that you should have the best belt made out of silk, an expensive belt. But not only that, you should be covered in silk. And it happened that Rabbah, the son of Rav Huna, was getting married, and all the women in the house were walking by and they saw Rav Huna, he was sleeping and he wasn't covered. And they all took their belts, their silk belts, and they threw it on him. And we see that that Rav Huna became fabulously wealthy, that all of his daughters and his daughter-in-laws were able to afford the highest grade of belts. Wow. And he got covered it. Rav heard about it, the ikbid. He said, I'm makbid. Why didn't you say v'chein lamar? Zokt Rashi on that Gemara in Megillah. V'chein lamar, af atotehei mevarech lekach shema haya eis rotzen v'skayim af bi. That a regular person could go ahead and he can give somebody a bracha that could be mekayim because it's a time of rotzen. So we never know. You don't have to be a tzaddik. You don't have to be a kayin. You could be a regular person in Klal Yisrael. A regular person could give a bracha to somebody else, and it could be the shas rotzen. Like we said before, if somebody embarrasses you, you have a koyach of bracha. So whenever you can, always say v'chein lamar, always give somebody a bracha, and try to be the first person to give somebody a bracha always. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Wow.